Alrighty, folks, time for Rule 7. We're gonna, you might hear a little bit of my voice off of the video in the background. Gonna just lower the volume on that a tiny bit more. I would like it to have some audio, but I can't extract it from it being a co-op recording. Rule number 7, cheating is fun, but it can ruin your long-term goals. I also wish I had footage from Demon Souls, the original PS3 version. Because that's a game that will have maybe a plot twist at the end here, but we'll see if we can get there. Alright, so for today, let's define some terms. Cheating. It's a more nebulous term here. It doesn't have to just be anything at all. There are built-in cheats, which people could easily argue are not cheats because they're like present in the game. You get the EA logo, right? The old EA thing of like, it's in the game. Yeah, put a little bit of audio on there. All right. There are outside of the game cheats, cheat engine, and any kind of cheat crack or anything that can just like straight up break the rules of the game. There's paying for people to do stuff for you, like carries sites for FPS shooters, like someone come log in your account and like beat the like tournament or like do whatever you need to do in a whichever particular game you're playing, like paying people to play it for you. That actually would nail mostly what I mean about fun and long term. It can ruin your fun. It can be fun. It can then ruin your fun. It can ruin your long term goal. The long term goal here being getting better at games in general. Let's just put it really simply. Anyone can understand. If you like put in a password, makes you invincible, and breaks you to the last boss, and you just like beat it. Good job. I mean, you're not getting better at the game, and you're not going to be better at the next game you play, right? Like, it was like masturbation. It was like you did it, you got to the end, and you're like, cool, neat. It was fun, but your long term is not going to support. Let's also talk about multiplayer and single player. Multiplayer cheating. Very hard to justify cheating. It's just immoral. It's just fucked up. It's not impossible to think of things where it's like, look, I'm going to cheat. Like there's all kinds of justice angles you could pull. You can imagine things that's like cheating in multiplayer is okay because like the typical thing, I think the doorway for a ton of folks is like cheating in multiplayer is fine because everyone else is doing it or whatever. So in single player, cheating, as far as the morality goes, go for it. There are caveats, of course. So let's talk a little bit more about multiplayer. In multiplayer, cheating destroys the sanctity of the game itself. It devalues the game at a base level, and you are generally hurting other people and harming their experience with the game. So it's just really hard to be like, it's okay. Like you basically take the devaluing you do to yourself and like throw it onto other people as well as yourself. So holy crap. In single player, you're possibly ruining the sanctity of the game. I mean, if they put cheats in the game and the codes and stuff that you can input, it gets a lot more messy, but it's also possible that the game has like a misguided design philosophy a base level issue that you're like fixing. You might be streamlining and just accelerating gameplay. Say like you use an emulator and you can just play it at double speed and it's like an RPG and it's like now your character just walks faster across the screen in a place where it's like you still have the same chance of random battles. You still have blah blah blah. The battles themselves like run at twice speed because you run at double speed. That stuff is just not so bad. But again, cheating single player, you possibly hurt yourself. You possibly hurt your development as a gamer. You not only do you not develop skills and stuff over a long term because you just like shortcut and eliminate the existence of your ability to even practice, but you might still develop some of those, but you might shorten your experience with the game. Cheating can also become a habit. Like you might across multiple games be like, yeah, I always just cheat this one thing out of the game, or it can just be convenient, and it can also just be justified. So let's understand that the goal and the point of this rule is find the balance. Again, look at every scenario you walk into and realize where you're cheating yourself, when you're cheating others, when you're cheating the game. The game isn't a person. I don't think you need to play a game and like worry about what the developers are like. Man, people do this to our game. There's people who will look at something like you could just create these frameworks. So I'm showing the Midir fight here with Andy from the site, and the two of us are like trying to get through the game, and I'm co-oping with him, and he's in the, like multiple new game plus, and he just can't handle Midir, and I can't believe he's not dead there. He doesn't even have like a hit point bar left. Doesn't have a single thing left. My character is coming in, and instead of doing a lot of the like generic Dark Souls-y things people do of like hitting it with a sword and rolling through and knowing all the patterns and being amazing, I'm wearing incredibly heavy armor, using an incredibly heavy shield, and because this is a giant enemy that's easy to like spam it on, I'm spamming Pestilent Mists on him. While Andy's doing all of those things that his character was designed to do, but is struggling on this boss, I'm just nibbling away at this boss, doing thousands of damage every time it stands still in my shit. And this isn't cheating. There are people who would say it is. They're like, oh, it's... Or they start defining it as cheesing the game or whatever. Yeah, fine. But this became an incredibly fun thing we did for an evening, trying to get him through Midir. And it's not like there wasn't a certain chunk of gameplay I had to learn to adapt, because it's not like my character was designed to do all these things, but he was a heavier character, he was a strength-based character, and had a lot of things that allowed me to design into tweaking him just a little bit. Like, okay, we'll use the magic wand that casts with a very high base but doesn't scale well because we're using Pestilent Mist, so all you really need to do is get the spell out and have them sit in it. I mean, look at the monster. It's flying all over the arena, so it's not like it's just like it sits in one corner and you put Pestilent Mist on him and he's like fucked. Like, this still like took some effort, and I still get hit by like dumb crap. And the video, I'm gonna talk until we get to it, but we do get through it. It's also, you can like hit your friends with Pestilent Mist, all kinds of goofy crap like happens. But this is a thing allowed in the game, so those kinds of discussions are just like that's not what we're here to like argue about. 500, 1,000 damage just from like R2 shield, 1,400 damage by the time we were done. So there's all this actually kind of got us to the like previous discussions where it's like, I did some research and I played with a person. I wanted the best for them. I did research at a place that's like, hey, if you're struggling with Midir, try this idea. And there he goes. We got through it. Like on New Game 5 or something, it was ridiculously hard. It's not like the fight changes much, but the mathematics become much more unforgiving on mistakes as you scale up and up and up in the game. So very fun stuff there. What are we going to do next time around? We're going to touch on rule number 8, which is try not to lie. And this means lying to yourself and lying to others. This is a very important thing, I think, in real life too, and a thing that I struggled with, and I like to blame it. And I would say like, oh, I have like an Irish upbringing. We exaggerate, we lie, we do all kinds of crap. So it's another one that I can struggle with, especially when it comes to like, I want to help other people, and I think of like a lot of white lies, and I apply a lot of logic like that. But so we'll talk about that kind of stuff, what I mean by lying, what I mean about being honest versus not lying. We'll talk about the Hydra of lies, and we'll have some more fun. I don't know what game I'm going to show there, but we'll figure it out. All right, let's call it 10 minutes. Boom. In and out. like, subscribe, help me out. I love it. I'm pointing at the wrong screen. Do it, please. Thank you.